Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Connor. The name Connor is an Anglicized form of the ancient Gaelic name Conchobhar, meaning lover of hounds. In Irish mythology, Conchobhar, Connor, MacNessa was the legendary King of Ulster, said to be born at the same time as Jesus Christ. He is remembered most for his ill-fated marriage to Deirdre. One day King Connor attended a celebratory feast in his honor given by Femlin, a lord of Ulster. During the merriment, a messenger arrived with news that Lord Femlin's wife had just given birth to a baby girl. As the men drank to the baby's health, a druid was sent to predict the child's future. When the druid foretold that the baby would grow to be the fairest of all women in Ireland but that she would marry a king and bring ruin upon the kingdom of Ulster, King Connor decided to take the baby, hide her safely away and make her his own wife when she reached marriageable age. This way, no foreign king could have her. They named the baby Deirdre, which is Celtic for woman. As Deirdre grew older and the wedding day neared, she was repulsed by the now-aged king who was to become her husband. Instead, she fell in love with the king's nephew, a handsome warrior named Nawaz. At first, Nawaz tried to reject the girl's advances, knowing she was promised to the king, but her beauty overpowered him. The two young lovers eloped and escaped to Scotland. Eventually, Connor tricked the lovers into returning to Ulster by promising forgiveness, but then promptly had Nawaz killed for his treason. Deirdre was then forced to marry the king, but she steadfast refused to look at him or even smile for a year. When Connor finally asked her what she hated most of all, she answered, "Thou thyself." And Eogan son of Duracht, Eogan being the king's servant who killed Nawaz. Whether as an act of revenge or a reaction to his own wounded pride, Connor cruelly sent Deirdre to be with Eogan for a year. As she was leaving to go with Eogan, Deirdre jumped out of the chariot, hurling her head against a rock, thus ending her life instantly. According to legend, two yew trees sprung from the separate gravesites of Deirdre and Nawaz and grew so tall that their limbs intertwined over either side of a church, remaining together for eternity. Although King Connor's ruthless treatment of Deirdre and Nawaz doesn't exactly cast him in the most attractive of lights, he was nonetheless a brave and capable king. As a result, the name is often associated with adjectives strong-willed and wise. It was his desire for Deirdre that proved his ultimate downfall. Conchobhar, Connor, was also the name of several other early Irish kings, and the name has remained in constant use since ancient times, giving birth to the surname O'Connor. The Anglicized version of Connor/Connor is still extremely popular in Ireland, Northern Ireland, and the Isle of Man today. Personality of the boy named Connor. The number 7 personality is deeply mystical and highly in tune with their spirituality. They operate on a different wavelength than the average Joe. Spending time alone comes easily to 7s, as it gives them time to contemplate philosophical, religious, and spiritual ideas in an effort to find real truth. 7s are wise, but often exude mystery, as if they are tapped into something the rest of us don't understand. They love the outdoors and are fed by nature. 7s are constantly seeking to understand human nature, our place in the universe, and the mystery of life in general. This makes them quite artistic and poetic, but they are also keen observers with high intellect, so they are equally scientific-minded. 7s are charitable and care deeply about the human condition. Popularity of the boy named Connor. Connor first appeared on the American male naming charts in 1981, so, although the name is ancient to Ireland, it's really quite modern here in the States. Original usage of the name may have been influenced by the growing trend of using surnames as forenames here in America. But whatever the reason, Connor really hit a chord with American parents, and the name has since taken off in popularity. It only took the name 12 years to land on the U.S. Top 100 list of favorite baby boy names, 1992. Connor reached his all-time high at position number 38 in 2004. Today, this little dog lover seems to be parking himself comfortably on the higher end of the top 100, so he's still going strong. We love the idea of Connor and Caleb for twins, because Caleb is the Hebrew word for dog. Although Connor is quite trendy, as evidenced by the multi-spellings now available, Connor, 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 and Connor, it remains an excellent choice overall. By the way, the Irish are more inclined to spell it Connor with one N if you're trying to be true to your Gaelic heritage. Quick facts on Connor. Gender, boy. Origin, Celtic. Number of syllables, 2. Ranking popularity, 56. Pronunciation, Kahnr. Simple meaning, dog/wolf lover, lover of hounds. Characteristics of Connor. Eccentric, mystical, solitary, wise, intuitive, philosophical, imaginative. Cultural references to the baby name, Connor. Famous people named Connor. Connor Wickham, English footballer, Connor Trenier, actor, Connor Barth, football player, Connor Cruise O'Brien, Irish author, Connor Paolo, actor. Children of famous people named Connor. Nicole Kidman, Tom Cruise. Historic figures with the name Connor. Sandra Day O'Connor will forever hold the distinction of being the first woman ever appointed to the United States Supreme Court. Her tenure lasted from 1981, when she was appointed at the age of 51 by then-President Ronald Reagan, through the George W. administration until her retirement in 2006, 24 years. O'Connor was born in Texas, attended Stanford University as an undergrad and law student, and settled in Arizona to a life of politics, state senate. By the mid-1970s, Sandra switched from legislative work to judicial work when she ran for Country Superior Court judge and won. A conservative Republican, O'Connor had the reputation of being firm but just. She was then elected to the Arizona State Court of Appeals before President Reagan came Callan, and Sandra received unanimous approval from the U.S. Senate for her appointment as judge on the Naciones Most Suprema Court also representing a groundbreaking accomplishment on behalf of American women everywhere. During her 24-year tenure, Sandra Day O'Connor was respected for her moderate conservative positions, her refusal to play politics, and her firm but just interpretation of the law as it applied to the original intentions of the U.S. Constitution. Perhaps she said it best when she spoke the following words: "The power I exert on the court depends on the power of my arguments, not on my gender." In 2009, President Obama awarded Sandra the Presidential Medal of Freedom.